Hello everyone, welcome to Close Up on America's Business, the program that takes you inside some of the most unique and successful companies in America. I'm Janice Marie. On each edition of our show, you have the opportunity to meet some of the most innovative business leaders in the country today. You'll find out what their products, services, technologies, and business models can do for you, and what they're doing to change our world and to change the way we do business.
Today, the 18th tee on this remarkable golf course is the highest spot in southern Florida for playing golf. To put it all together, the man behind all of this, developer Donald Trump, turned to famed golf course designer Jim Fazio and told him, "Build for me the best golf course in America." 2 years and some $40 million later, this is the result. Magnificent, isn't it? Statistics indicate that there are about 20 million Americans who play golf on a fairly regular basis, and they know what they like about the game. They love the challenge that various golf courses present for them. What's amazing is that most golfers have little or no idea of how that golf course actually began. Fact of the matter is, it began in a room just like this, not very sexy, not very exciting, but here, where golf course designer Jim Fazio is sitting at a table looking at pictures. That's how it all begins. Am I right, Jim? You sit here going over photographs, right?
I look at photographs, I look at lines, and then determine, what we can come up with in a golf course. Starts at a meeting with the owner. He tells me who the golf course is going to be for, what his clientele is going to be, whether it's just a tournament golf course, public golf course, private golf course. We get all those questions answered, then I know what kind of golf course to design.
Jim, why does that make a difference, whether it's a public or private course you're designing? What's the big deal?
Speed of play at a private golf course may be a little more less of a consideration because of the degree of difficulty.
Right.
Public course, you want to keep people moving, you want them enjoyable, you want it scenic, you want it, aesthetically pleasing, but a fast play, not too many hazards. You don't want somebody that's an 80 shooting 90, because then that takes time. You still have to create almost the same look you would for a private course as a public, but maybe a little bit wider. Maybe the bunkers are out of play a little bit more, but aesthetically pleasing. You use them as turning points and, to play off of.
Jim, how does someone become a golf course designer? Where do you learn that?
Started with my uncle, who used to be a tour player. He played in the Hogan era. He tied for the U.S. Open in 1950 with Ben Hogan and Lloyd Mangrum. He eventually lost it, and that may have been a good thing for us, getting in the business. But when he retired, somebody asked him to help finish a golf course because the architect walked off. And he said, "I don't know anything about designing a course." And the guy says, "Well, you know how to play a hole. You know what a bunker looks like or where a green should be. Just come down and give us a hand, and we'll do the construction." So he went down in Tuckerton, New Jersey. In 1958, I was sophomore, junior in high school, and I used to go with him on the weekends. And that's how we got into the design business, by accident. And after that golf course was finished, somebody asked him to build a golf course in our hometown, right outside of Norristown. And it was a public golf course, and he decided to take the job. We found a local contractor that was a grading contractor, never built a golf course before, and we designed and built this golf course. There was no design fees or anything like that. It was just, we would design it, we would hire the equipment, and we would build it.
All of which brings us back here to the 17th green here at the Trump International Golf Course. Jim, talk to me a little bit about what this place was like when you first came out here with the instructions to build Donald Trump the best course in the country.
When we first got here, it was dead flat, first of all. And we found debris scattered all over the place. People used to use it as a dumping ground. We have a building in the back over on the front nine that they call it the bomb shelter. We had homeless people living in there that we had to evacuate. Trash, debris, trees, scrub, things like that. And that's what we had to deal with to get cleaned up to start the job. We had 200 acres, which is a lot of land, so we knew we had room to build lakes and do some elevation. to spread the holes out, because when you wind up with a golf course, you're talking about 70, 80 acres of grass. So now we have 120 left over. So we figured we could put the mounds in there to separate the golf holes and to create elevation. So we started out with a basic grading plan where we used upwards of 3 million cubic yards of earth that we just placed in mounds and features, and then started shaping that to create the golf hole. Because we had the routing plan. The routing plan was an easy thing to do because we knew how the golf course had to go because of some of the configurations. So that was the easy part. The hard part was we had to transplant over 5,000 trees to be able to work first. And we had to do it in sections according to the environmental people. So we built a berm on the north end of the property, started digging lakes in different areas to move the dirt, to move the trees to, and then we started building the golf course. The client sends us a disc, and it's a picture of the property and everything that's on the property. Contour lines, trees, lakes, houses, roads, everything.
They've all done that work at that point.
Yeah, the property has been surveyed. This is a survey map that tells you everything that happened or that is on that property at that time. And that's what we do. We take this disc and we blow it up into pictures. And what you see here is contour lines. They're usually in 2-foot contour lines. If you're working in Europe, they're meters. But here we use 2-foot contour lines, and we start with our starting point. Where is the clubhouse going to be?
You know, to me, this looks just like a forest.
It's a complete wood. These are open areas here. There's houses here. There's little streams that you can see where the drainage runs down through and creates a washout or something like that.
Can you tell from this picture the elevation in the land as you look at it?
Every line is designated a number, has a number to it. So it tells me whether it's going uphill, over a hill, side hill, or converging into each other. So that's how we read a map, you know, with the numbers that are on it, and that's how we pick out our golf holes. We like having downhill golf holes. It's the easier way to play golf than uphill. Everybody feels better hitting the tee shot going downhill, hitting the par 3 going downhill. Anything downhill is good in golf.
And what was it Donald Trump asked you to do?
He said to me, after I told him what I would do, he said, there's only 2 things I want. I want a tough first hole, and I want the driveway to go straight uphill so I can build it like Royal Palm Way, because I think that's the most beautiful street in the world. And then he left me alone. This was unusual because I didn't have to give a client a full set of plans, which normally you do to bid on and this and that. And he just he gave us carte blanche. They do whatever it takes to build me the best. And 2 years later, when it opened up, everybody thought it was the best. The membership now is $400,000. You have to have a good golf course to spend $400,000 to want to play. It is very difficult from the back tees. It's 7,300 yards, and it's the second highest rated slope in the country. Here's a project here we did, Frenchmans Creek. And this is Frenchmans Creek right here. That was the name of the project, and it comes in from across the street. And it was just an old swamp, and in the summertime it would dry up, and mosquitoes and everything, and it was just hidden in the woods. Nobody ever saw it. So what we did when we renovated, we opened this up, and we had a lake right here, so we artificially raised this lake to flow over here. So this now is artificially raised, and we put a little stream bed here, concrete, some rocks and everything. So now we took this dried up creek bed and we make it move all the time. So there's a flow through here, and we've planted aquatic plants, and there's birds and everything in there.
With so many Fazios actually designing golf courses, is there competition among you?
I compete against myself and the land. You know, I'm always out trying to do the best job that will give me, and for the money that I have to do it. You know, constraints are budgets. And if a guy tells me he has $6 million, I have an obligation to design a course that will cost $6 million, not 7 or 8. If there's no budget, and I can give you another Donald Trump, people know who they want to design their golf course. They know if they want Pete Dye, they know if they want Tom Fazio, they know if they want Jack Nicklaus. And if somebody came to me and says, I want you to build a Pete Dye designed golf course, I'd say, well, Pete can do it better than I can. Why don't you hire him? He's better at that than I am. I design a traditionalist type golf course more so than Pete. My brother, he'll do a certain type of a golf course. Jack Nicklaus does a certain type of golf course they have their trademarks. Hopefully I don't fall into any trademarks that you don't know it's my course when you're there. It's just a good golf course, and you have to ask somebody who designed it. Then I know I did a good job.
So there you are, the very impressive story of one of the absolute best golf course designers anywhere in the world today, Jim Fazio. I'm Doug Llewellyn reporting from West Palm Beach, Florida.
Well, that does it for this edition of Close Up on America's Business. I'm Janice Marie. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.